Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic and phenomenal day. It's hard not to when we have such green in the room here. It's really, really nice. And what's great is I can be myself here today and actually be positive and people don't feel off-put by it because it's not a blood red market, right? So again, thanks again for joining me here. Hope you can learn something today. If you want to become a better trader, again, CryptoCache.tech is the site. Link down below. Do me a favor before we get started. Hit the like button. Comment below if you get a chance. And of course, just let us know roughly what's going on in your world here. How's Solana treating you? So we got some great news here, folks. Just before we jump into liquidation here, we're over that 148 level. We are above the descending trend line, and Bitcoin pulled its head successfully from its ass. So we got some pretty good situations going on here. Let's take a look at liquidation. We can see 155 is effectively that more recent local high. Not a lot of liquidation at that level, just saying that we saw a lot of late shorts here getting destroyed. So please, 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 folks, be careful shorting this coin. Just in general, it's a stronger coin, and you're increasing your odds of being unsuccessful, if you will. It's just really not a great call. Either way you look at it, most recent liquidation between 150 and 152 has been swept. There's nothing we can see here in the last 7 days that really is anything of notice. We could look at our 1 month just to clarify, kind of see where we're at. We can double check here. A good thing we have, 160 is the next area of concentration of liquidation. So I'm not saying we're just going to surge right to that level, but there's a strong chance that that will be the next point to be retested again. More recent highs have a tendency of being retested, and that's kind of what we're seeing there. Quick congrats to our community members here too for some nice profits from Near Protocol, 40%. Glad everyone stuck in with it there. We do average into our positions for a reason. For situations like this, when the market is very unshaky, we had no stop losses. 4 out of 5 of our trades are in profit right now, and 1 is effectively still in the red, but I'm confident we're going to be able to see some recovery there. I'll review that here again soon. Either way, Solana, let's focus on this here. What's going on the daily time frame? Let's work our way down. So we talked yesterday about Solana. There were some moving averages that were kind of in the way, right? I mean, there still is, of course. Most coins are seeing the same behavior here below the 50-day SMA, but we were testing the 100 and kind of unsure about the 20. Above those two is a very, very big deal. Okay, so again, we're in pretty good shape there. The 200-day SMA is traveling way behind, but generally speaking, being above that level is important. In the last 1 month's worth of trading, we can also see 144 is that solid point of control. So being above that gives us a little bit more comfort. Okay, take a look here as well. Bitcoin is exuding similar behaviors, just above 50 in the RSI. Money flow index in this case is higher, which is great, and stochastic swinging up with MACD converging. All good things, folks. Absolutely good. So the daily time frame looks pretty darn bullish. The only thing we want to do is get over that 50-day SMA, but we're just going to take a little while to get there. That's all good. No worries there. So you're taking a look here at about 158, 160. That's a more recent local high here. I believe that was based on a larger time frame close, but we can see 158 to about this 160 range. That's going to be our local resistance. We have a previous support range turned resistance, so that could also factor in. We're going to leave this up here. We had a previous support range between 160 and 169, if you remember that. That's absolutely still a thing. We just kind of don't need to worry about that for the moment. But keep in mind too, based on liquidation, 160 makes sense because that's that lowest level here, that previous support range, okay? Or effectively the new resistance, right? So 160, 162, this area here to me personally is the likely next target. Now, is it just going to go straight for that right now? Probably not. I would say a pullback would make sense. Bitcoin expecting a pullback to 63.5. And if we see that, we'll probably see a very similar scenario here for Solana too. So that's a good sign in most cases because we could potentially still get at that 148 level. That's ultimately my goal, would be to take a long run 148. Now, is it going to come back down to that level? It's hard to say. RSI is cranking, money flow index looking good, stochastic swinging up. Those are all positive confirming factors. We look at the SMAs too. The lowest level for the simple moving average is right around 147. So it does reaffirm, again, that support level there. But look at this volume, folks. Do not trade against that. Shorting into that is a bad idea. So don't short to 148. You're better off taking a long at 148 if it even happens, okay? That's kind of where I'm at. Or consider this. I like to do the multiple entries. My community knows this very well. Get in at 152, second entry at 148. All right, you could average your position down to roughly 150. And have some success doing that as well. Just depends on the market, but there's no truth of this, or there's no doubt this is not overextended. I mean, there's absolute overextension here for this coin, but it's warranted. Okay, it makes sense. And you look at how large these candles are, extremely high amount of volume. That is tremendous amount of volume. You absolutely do not short into that, okay? So it'd be a mistake. We'd have to see a lot of money flowing out of Bitcoin to be able to see that happen, and I don't think we're quite there. We have every confirming factor here letting us know on every single time frame that Solana's back and it's here to stay. So my expectation is to consider a long between 148 and 150. I'm going to set an alert right here at this range closer to 149 and essentially just see if it might be worth getting in at that level if the price does pull back. Again, emphasis on the word if. We also want to recognize here too, we do have some pretty decent scenarios here unfolding. If the price doesn't end up pulling back, I would say 151 would be the next level there based on Elliott wave, okay? And again, this is if this is the top. We don't even know if there's a top. It could continue to run. But based on what we see here so far, a retracement to 148 to 151 is a consideration for entry here. This nice little area where the price action could consolidate and bounce. Okay, so again, that's kind of where we're at there. And again, Bitcoin has a very, very similar structure. This is positive. If Bitcoin does pull back to this 63,500 mark, I think we'll see a slight retracement for Solana in that similar range. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Hopefully this made sense and I described this correctly. Again, more recent high is going to be the new low. That's generally the concept. That's why the 4 is always higher than the 1 based on Elliott wave if you're ever curious about that. I hope you all learned something today. Again, do not forget to comment below. Please like the video. And then, of course, you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site where you can register to become part of our community and benefit from these awesome, awesome trades here. Near Protocol is the beginning of many profitable trades here today. And then, of course, Bitunics, link down below for these guys. This is the exchange we use primarily as a community. No KYC or VPN required. Fantastic. Be sure to check them out. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.